You're our favorite indeed. Being a pirate is a right to lead. Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate. You are a pirate.
Well, admit it. If you haven't distributed or copied music, movies, games, or software illegally, the person sitting next to you probably has. A 2011 survey by Columbia University found that just under half of Americans are pirates. And in the 18 to 29 age bracket, that percentage increases to 70%. Now, media piracy isn't a new problem. Charles Dickens often spoke out against American scoundrel booksellers who republished his novels and sold them for pennies. But as the quality of copies increased, while the cost to produce those copies decreased, piracy became more and more attractive. Since the launch of Napster in 1999, digital piracy specifically has swelled to enormous proportions. But the legal push for regulations against piracy has also ballooned. At the extreme end of the scale was the Stop Online Piracy Act. While SOPA had the noble intention of prosecuting rogue sites, there were significant concerns about its methods for doing so. Although the bill was defeated, it continues to represent the idea of censorship as the solution for piracy.
Help! Help! I'm being repressed!
The future of art in America is torn between the needs of artists and distributors for reimbursement and the need of artists and consumers for access to ideas. This is a Scylla and Charybdis that copyright law must learn to navigate.
The first step that should be taken in a solution towards piracy is to construct a definition of fair use. Copying, combining, and transforming ideas is the lifeblood of the creative process. But as currently defined, fair use, if it is legal to use a copyrighted work without permission, is determined on a case-by-case basis with these four factors. This criteria is highly subjective. For example, this use of Mattel's Barbie is fair, but this sculpture of this photograph isn't. We deserve a solidified definition of just what fair use is and isn't, something that the law hasn't given us. The second contention is the extension of copyright terms. Copyright is meant to be an incentive for creativity and discovery. You did the work, now you get to reap the profits. After a while, your work enters the public domain, where it can be used and enjoyed by anyone. Now, if we play by the copyright rules we drew up back in 1790, Marty McFly, The Breakfast Club, and Darth Vader would all be in the public domain. That's a bit extreme, but so is the way things are today. Life of the author plus 70 years. Not so coincidentally, this extended term just barely covers a certain little mouse. You can actually see a correlation between copyright extensions and when Mickey is about to escape into the public domain. Walt Disney's cryogenically frozen body isn't getting any of that sweet, sweet mouse money. The only people these extreme copyright extensions benefit are large corporations or estates, and they actually harm orphaned works whose copyright status can't easily be determined and therefore aren't worth the risk to distribute or preserve. If corporations expect the public to respect their copyrights, they'll have to start respecting the public domain. But even these corporate distributors deserve to be paid for the work they do. We need to find techniques that let distributors compete with free. That's tough, but Gabe Newell, the man behind online distribution platform Steam, has some suggestions.
What we saw more and more is that piracy is the result of bad service. A lot of the copy protection schemes go in exactly the wrong direction. They're actually negative service, right? Hey, by focusing on the customer and doing useful things for the customer, piracy really becomes sort of a non-issue.
Remedies for piracy focus on distributors. That's because copyright law has generally empowered them and established artists while harming consumers and developing artists. A delicate balance has been disturbed, and while that may have worked for the 20th century, it won't do for the 21st. We'll ever be able to make piracy really go away, but we can reduce it by restoring that balance between the distributors, the artists, and the pirates.